don't know what Firefox is doing here. Okay, so you can see that Skyrim Flora Overhaul doesn't have a grass only version. It does have a version without any grass, so I think we're gonna go for the lowest performance impact with the basic edition, which does have the grass. Should look okay with my ENB. And we're just going to try that, and then we'll use the regular edition later on when we're looking at trees. So the mod recommends any settings. I'm going to scratch type for texture 7, and then the density is vanilla, which is 20. So we're going to have that level of density here. So let's go ahead and enable that and get our any. And again, if you're using Skyrim Special Edition, your performance is going to be better, and you're not going to be editing these any's through Ammo. You're going to be editing them directly in your Skyrim documents folder. So that's important to remember. Okay, let's take a look. We're going to look in the same places, starting with Mark Hearth, and moving on through the different grass regions, if the game ever launches, which it won't. Here we are. I'm pretty sure SFO doesn't touch the Mark Hearth exterior. Now, this version of SFO, the basic version, it does have the tree changes, but there are fewer of them and the trees are smaller, so it's not going to be as big of an impact. But we are going to see we've got different juniper trees and so on. Now, this version of SFO doesn't have any hand-painted textures. There's no unique new spots. And you can see it doesn't have any grass at all on this texture. Just keeping it as sort of a moss here. So we're going to see some places where we saw unique grasses and the other mods really didn't see that. We're not going to see that in SFO for sure. So that's going to be fun. I'm really surprised we didn't see more of that in Verdant. I did expect there to be more unique sort of little flowers, and I wasn't seeing that. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Oh, this is kind of ugly. You've got two different. Well, we've got the red grass and the yellow grass, and then the same. These actually aren't even a grass or something else, but yeah, sort of Technicolor. Okay, you have to remember he said saturated colors, which might not look good with saturated EMB. Now my EMB is not that saturated, but let's take a look. No, it's still pretty ugly. Definitely worse with the EMB on, but you can see the performance is through the roof, but really not. And the density is quite good, so this is something that might look better with the 2.0 version of SFO, which has been a little bit more tweaked and looks good with EMB and so on, you know, got a better computer, that sort of thing. But yeah, so far not that impressive. This is more of the same. Now we've gotten our little forest grasses here. This is really not looking good with EMB. This looks great without EMB. So I think probably I made a mistake here choosing to test the basic version, but no, that's just pretty much just ugly. Would not recommend. I saw some red grass over here, which is something I hadn't seen when I turned before in the other mod, so we're gonna go take a look real quick. Yeah, this is our tundra grass, and you can see it's very bright. Very, very bright, saturated colors. This is like Technicolor Skyrim here. Wow! SFO basic, and that's without the EMB on, so let's just, whee! Orange! Not a fan of that at all. If you want very bright, different colors, that's definitely something you would get with SFO basic. I'm probably just gonna stop here because this is not... No, I'll go through the whole thing. It deserves its fair chance. Yeah, very bright colors here. You can see it's shorter pretty not dense at all. Got some density here. These white flowers, they look a little funny. Not dense at all, but you can see with the shorter grass, I think it does look a little better than vanilla, especially if you want that Technicolor feel. Very neon, even when we're without the EMB, pretty neon colors, so, wee! Very saturated! Yeah, let's go take a look at the snow, I guess. There's not that much more to look at. It did warn you right in the description. Saturated colors might not look good with, well, it's saturated. It doesn't look good with it, with or without EMB. Yeah, we've got this horrible, ugly snowgrass here. Very dense. I definitely like Verdant's approach to this better. I mean, the textures are nice and crisp, so we are getting some good. Performance is great for the density. Performance is really great. This is the same performance we were getting with Verdant, except there's actual grass on the ground instead of no grass. So that's like, whee! Solitude's gonna be pretty. But it's saturated as well. It's not so bad. I mean, it's still pretty saturated, but, you know. If you're running, say, sexy Skyrim, this grass would fit in really well. FPS isn't so great. Yeah, anyways, we're gonna go to the swamp and then I'm gonna call it quits because I've had about enough of this swamp. NPCs always look super gray in the load screens when I haven't got any texture mods on them. Yeah, saturated! I do like the actual grasses chosen here. It's just the colors aren't so good, but I think if you're gonna have grass here, having this sort of dead looking grass than the yellow plants, I don't know. It's no better or worse than any other mods, just more saturated. Here, at least. And in other places I definitely think it's worse and way oversaturated. And, you know... hey, if we look away from the grass, we can get up to like 200 FPS. Just look at the sky, get max performance. Okay. It's about the same as everything else. So we're not really seeing big differences in performance here, which I'm okay with. Okay, I think we're done. Done! Get me out of this! I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. That's way too saturated to ever use. I'm sure I liked it when I was new to modding. Let's go with the latest version of Skyrim Flora Overhaul. This is definitely gonna be worse on performance. Oh, right. I already have it installed somewhere. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go take a look at that and see if that's any better or if it's super saturated. And this one does have the hand-placed loop-in fields, the lots of different tree variety. It did remove the bent pines. Those are available as an optional download, but I think we are going to see more variety here. And hopefully less saturation. Again, Vert got a better computer between making the basic, really old edition and this one. He does run ENB now and has made his mods design, the colors more designed to work with ENB. So let's just take a look and see what we got here. I remember this mod didn't touch Markarth exterior at all, but we're still gonna start there. Just, I like it. Purple dragon. Of course it's raining. Oh yeah, so you can see this is the full edition, and not only is it way less saturated, it looks much more realistic, but we do have grass here where we didn't have any before, and it's actually very dense, and still 73 FPS. I don't understand how we're having so much grass and still getting high FPS. You can see the grass is on the road here, which is something that I saw as a big negative. You also got these really ugly rocks, and again, that's something I would definitely delete from the mod. You see these rock remover mods and that sort of thing. All they're doing is they're just going in the grass setting. They're deleting these little rocks that are kind of ugly and take up performance. So I always delete those from grass mod before I use it. If you're using a grass mod and one of those rock remover things, it doesn't achieve anything because the grass mod overrides it. So you do have to do it manually, but it's not difficult to do, and I will show how to do that, how to edit grass mods in my last video here, once we've been through all of the existing mods. So that's actually very interesting. So we've got very short little grass here. I like the colors here. It definitely doesn't look like grass. It looks like little plants. So it's sort of like Verdant, except Verdant had those really tall sort of blackberry plants and the burdock, and then this is super low to the ground, kind of mossy type things. Now this grass texture is called Reach Moss, so I can definitely see Vert's trying to stay true to vanilla here, give a little bit more height to it. And I do like these purple plants are oh, these are heather. Oh! I actually requested that he add heather at one point. I did not realize. Maybe he did that on my request. Did not realize here. The performance is decent here, so yeah, I like it. It's not grass, but it's different than vanilla. It's different than any of the other grass mods. So if you're looking for something different, this might be what to go for. Let's move on to the overlap region. Our little triptych of grasses. If it'll ever load. Come on. Come on, baby. There we go. And again, you can see this is with the SFO trees, which look really nice, and it's raining again, isn't it? So you have to take that into account when we're looking at our performance, which is actually pretty good. We're above 60, so you can see these little mossy reach grasses, then we get into the forest grasses here, which are still neon. They're definitely not as intensely colored as they were in the basic version, but they're still very brightly colored. So if you're not looking for that, you're definitely going to want to step away from SFO for grasses. And again, it has a no grass version now, so it's very simple to use it with other mods that add grasses and still get those trees if you like them. We're going to go look at this because I remember these neon colors caught my eye. So they're still, yeah, they look good with or without or they look the same with or without EMB, so that you can see very bright reds here, adding some visual interest. And remember, vanilla was very dark red as well, so definitely he's trying to stay close to vanilla here with these moss on the Reach Moss texture and the dark bright red grasses for the tundra. But if you're looking a way to move away from that, you're definitely, this is not the mod you're going to be looking for. So speaking of the tundra, let's go look at that properly. Head over to Whiterun exterior. You know, the first thing you see. Oh wow, there's like no grass here at all. What is this? Huh. It's kind of ugly. And it's very short. So I remember when I said in vanilla that shorter grasses might help make the difference between grass and no grass less obvious. Well, it's not helping here because the grass is so much brighter than the ground texture. Just really very different. So I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah. I remember liking this. I have some really lovely pictures using SFO grass here, and I don't know what I did because this is not what I remember. This is not great. You can see we've got these same sort of little mossy things here. Some flowers, very brightly colored, but you can see, look how nicely, you can even see the line between where there's no grass and the lod textures because it's so similar in color to the lod. So if you're not looking to change your textures too much or stay pretty close to vanilla, but you want a little more density or a little bit more something new, this would be a good thing to go with. If you want actual grass, I definitely would go with Unbelievable Grass 2 for a dense grass, or if you want them green. Our performance is great, and I think that's just because we don't have very much here. yeah, so moving on to Riverwood. Oh, load, 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 load. Okay, never gonna load. Ah! Ugh, snowgrass. So, yeah. Remember how in Verdant we had that lovely sort of river cattaily looking grass that blended in the water so nicely, and here we've got, like, horrible ugly snowgrass. Yeah, not as nice. And then we've got those neon green colors for the forest grass, so you're really... Here's what I really like about SFO, which are these lovely lupins and these bluebells. I think they really add a lot, but overall it's not as impressive as the other grass mods. We're definitely getting more density at higher performance because of how tiny and short the meshes are. So if that's a concern for you, this might be a good mod to choose, especially because remember we're getting this good performance with the tree mesh and texture changes and more bigger trees already baked in. So we've got really big trees here right now, and we're still getting decent, like actually pretty good performance. So that's definitely something to consider. But the neon colors, if that's not your thing... Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyways, if the neon colors aren't your thing, yeah, I'm not gonna be happy with this. Moving on. Load, load, load. Oh, more neon colors. Who is surprised? I mean, so we don't have those aspen leaves on the ground that we were seeing in the other mods, and I think that's really a big detriment because we do have these heavy aspen trees. It's fall. We should be seeing leaves on the ground. We are seeing that same sort of neon red-orange colors that we were seeing in the other mod, but it's the grass itself, and I think that's just really such a big detriment. Really not looking very nice here. The grass textures themselves, again, it's nice and crisp. There's no reason why you would want to use higher res textures. But I just don't think... This really isn't making it better. It's just making it brighter. I already know what we're going to see in the other places, but I don't like it. Yup. Okay, it's like vanilla, but whiter. Boringer. No. At least it's not neon, right? Like, there's not those bright yellow flowers. That's these. They're not bright yellow anymore. They're kind of a nice sort of pale color. Really, I'm not happy with the marsh in any of these. I don't know. Maybe I'd be happier if I just didn't have any grass at all, but none of these are really making you go, yeah, that looks nice. No, it just looks kind of ugly, and maybe that's why people don't like the marsh, just because none of the mods make it nice. And yeah, we've got the same thing here, kind of less density than basic for sure. And worse performance, so yeah. It's okay when we look up, but when we look down it's worse, when we look up it's better. Yeah. That has nothing to write home about. Alright, last ditch, Falkreath. How's this look? I haven't taken screenshots, have I? Oh well. Ooh! Nothing here. It's like empty. Oh, those are nice. We've got some mint here. Some kind of mint. I want to say Whorehound. Could use some Whorehound right now after talking for so much. Yeah. Meh. That's a resounding meh. I think we're done here, boys. I don't think there's anything else to see. Yeah. Okay, so that's Skyrim Flora Overhaul. I would definitely go with the no grass version of this and combine it with one of the other grass mods. I think that you're probably going to be happier with that unless you really like the bright colors, which, you know, some people do. You're setting up for like a 12-year-old, you might go for that. I, yeah, I wouldn't. Alright, I'm gonna take a break because my throat's hurting, and when I come back, I'm gonna be doing Vadar, sorry, don't remember the name of it. Then also, Tamron Reloaded HD, and then we're going to be going into how to edit these grass mods to remove some of the grasses you might like, or take a grass you do like and add it to a mod that you otherwise prefer.